sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, won't you let the light shine through. In the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you.
I'm going to be absolutely honest with you. I can't be bothered to do this stream. I really, 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 really cannot be bothered to do this. I deliberately was trying to avoid all team news, but due to unforeseen circumstances, I had to go on my phone, and I thought, well, I might as well now check the team news. And here it is. I'm going to be honest with you, like with everybody. My stomach is just in bits at the moment, in the sense of I just cannot be bothered with doing this. It's just an absolute waste of my time. You play the game for fun, but reality is that I do this because I'm legitimately passionate about playing this game. I've been doing this game, not specifically this game, I've been playing fantasy football for 10 years of my life. The past 9 years, I've had no accreditation for any of the work that I've done whatsoever, and it's only been for the past, as we'll find out on the anniversary show next week Friday, it's only been over the last 8 months or so that my hard work over the past 10 years, along with Jason jumping on board, has finally coming through. But it's days like this when I really cannot be. I really, really want to swear. I just cannot be bothered with this. Everything I seem to do in fantasy football just seemed to be a complete, absolute effing waste of time. Last night, don't get me wrong. We all saw on the live stream last night that I was considering doing a -4, getting rid of Callum Wilson to bring in Vardy and getting rid of Pereira for Bowley. But I thought, no, you've deliberately made these specific decisions. Southampton versus Leicester is going to be a tough game. Leicester should come through, you'd like to think. But, you know, I wouldn't be bringing in Vardy for a hit, especially considering Vardy will probably get the same equivalent points as Wilson or vice versa. We all saw what happened last night, and that was just mental. And by the way, for everybody that watched last night, that was an incredible effort. Absolutely, viewing figures were through the roof live last night. Replay views are through the roof, and thank you to all that watched, that actually took your time out to watch that stream last night or listen to it, whatever. But you come to today, you're pretty confident. You think, you know what, Aguero. I sent out a tweet earlier on, just jokingly saying, hopefully Aguero will get me a minimum of 2 goals, a minimum, just to kind of cancel out of Vardy. And then a few hours later, you see this team news here, and I just can't be bothered. You make all the logical decisions in the world, and I'm not even going to be looking at chat, to be honest with you, because I can't be bothered to be seeing the usual BS that people write. Well, it's rotation, isn't it, Steve? You all knew this would happen and stuff, blah, blah, blah. Did we? Not really. The conclusions for me is the fact that Sterling is the go-to man now. I think this is pretty evident. Jesus has just hit a shot wide after a Gundogan shot. I'm hoping he effing fails. That's the only way I'm going to be able to swear on it, is by saying effing. EFFIN. But I'm just so frustrated. I can't do anything this season to catch up with the top 4 in our Cash Mini League. I can't do anything whatsoever. Whenever I seem to do anything that's logical differential, essentially nothing actually seems to come through. Any logical decisions I seem to make completely backfire on me. There's just nothing I can do to do anything to win this game. I mean, the only transfer that seems to have come through is Mendy actually starting, but just a complete waste of time. Like I said, you've got to spend an hour and a half now listening to this drivel. But yeah, and especially after last night, after, like I said, such a wonderful, wonderful evening of covering 9 goals. Southampton, you should be ashamed of yourselves. And I'm stating the blinking obvious, but it's just appalling. But I just think that this Aguero benching, and knowing my luck, he is going to come on. He is going to come on. He'll come on for a 1 point and do FA. He'll do nothing. And that'll be my captain. And then tomorrow, my vice-captain, who's Mane, who I originally had the captaincy on, Mane will go and get like a 2 goals against Tottenham. I know exactly what's going to happen here. And it's just really effing frustrating that this has happened. I was really looking forward to this stream today, I'm not going to lie. I just thought, you know what? I'd like to think Aguero can get me at least a goal. We can all have a bit of a laugh, a bit of a joke, but now I just can't be bothered with this. So there is the team news. I mean, it's all old news now. I mean, we're now 6 minutes into the game. But Ederson in goal, Cancelo, Fernandinho, Stones, Mendy, Gundogan, David Silva, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Sterling and Jesus. Moving on to Aston Villa's team. Well, we'll just bring up Aston Villa's team. Not that anybody gives a flying F about that whatsoever. But it's all as you'd expect, really. Tom Heaton in goal, obviously. Gilbert, Angels, Mings, Target, Nakamba, Douglas Luiz, McGinn, Grealish, Trezeguet and Wesley. But I really don't care, to be honest with you. This stream is going to be absolutely atrocious, I'm not going to lie. So if you're not going to enjoy it, see you later. I couldn't care less, even if it was just me talking to myself, to be honest with you. I really couldn't give a hit. Hit spelt with an S. I really couldn't care less. But what I will do is I'm going to deliberately bring up Show Me the Mane's team. Because Show Me the Mane, and there's my team up on screen at the moment right now. Here is the team right now, as you can see there. Captain and Aguero there. Mane is my voice. I've got Mendy and De Bruyne in this game. Sancho, of course, played last night with 6 points. But I may as well, like I said, bring up Show Me them. I haven't even looked at them. I couldn't even care less from last night because I know Show Me the Mane would go top. And there he is. He's top of the mini league. He's now 10 points clear of Marlon Moore. A whopping 42 points, and that's from one player. One player. 40 points from Captain Vardy. Absolutely incredible. He even brought him in for a hit last night. Or yesterday, whenever it was, for Abraham, of all players. So Show Me the Mane got rid of Abraham and brought in Jamie Vardy. And we all know what Jamie Vardy did last night. 3 goals and 1 assist. Let's refresh our memories, shall we, of last night. 9-0 to Leicester. Just extraordinary. And like I said, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just going to chat. And it's not going to be much interaction not going to be much interaction to be said because I really can't be bothered. But last night we had Jamie Vardy with a hat-trick, Perez with a hat-trick, Chilwell, Maddison, Tielemans with a goal apiece. The assist coming from Chilwell with 2, Barnes with 2, Vardy with 1, Tielemans with 1. The bonus points, Vardy with 3, Perez with 2 and Chilwell with 1. And I do want to read a piece by Fantasy Football Scouts David Monday, who... Oh, and by the way, actually, I'll show you another team in our Kashmir League that fair play to him. Davy P had Chilwell in his team, and I wonder how far he's moved up the table. Wow, Charlie. Wow, well done to you. One Rovers vlog. Look at that. He had Abraham, Vardy, captain, and Maddison last night. Fair play to you. He ain't got Otamendi playing today, so Lundstrom's probably going to come in for him. Well done, Charlie. Fair play to you. Yeah, I wanted to look at David P's team specifically because he had Chilwell, would you believe? The question is, where on earth... I know he's quite... Oh, there he is. He's moved up to 10th. 48 points he's on, but that's obviously including today's players. But he had Chilwell, Soyuncu, Vardy playing last night. And then he's got Kevin De Bruyne. It doesn't even matter. This is what's frustrating, is that it doesn't even matter what the rest of your players do now. The fact that you've had Chilwell, Soyuncu and Vardy from last night has pretty much set you up for this game week anyway. And you can just not care about anything else, to be honest with you. But yeah, I wanted to read the piece by David Monday that he put up this morning regarding last night's fixture. I just think it was just a very well written piece, to be honest with you, and it summed up, I think, a lot of feelings in the, not just the fantasy football world, but just like the real life world as well. And I really appreciated what David wrote regarding, like I said, last night's game. And I'll read the majority of it anyway, for most of you. But Leicester City's 9-0 win over Southampton on Friday night equalled the biggest ever win in the Premier League and set a new record for largest margin of victory for an away team in 131 years of English top flight history. Is that all you need to know about this one? Probably. Is that all we're going to tell you about? Absolutely not. Already a debate seems to be forming about whether this anomaly of a result was caused by Leicester's attacking guile or Southampton's defensive ineptitude. In truth, there was an element of both. But the opinion of this article's author, David, is that the most influential factor in the story of this game was indeed the shocking performance of the hosts, Southampton. They conceded 15 shots on target, 9 of which ended up as goals. And here we go. City on the attack. I don't know if you can hear the radio or not. I couldn't care less. Even if this video is removed, I prefer it to be removed, to be honest with you. Anyhow, yes, Leicester look good and have plenty of attacking potential, but they won't be scoring 9 goals in the Premier League game anytime soon. Yes, I agree. That's because Southampton put on one of the worst defensive displays I've ever seen at this level of football. When writing these Scout Note articles, I try my best not to exaggerate, but I feel I would be remiss in my duties if I did not report just how dreadful Ralph Hasenhüttl's men were on Friday night. I don't feel it's too much of a reach to say during my time reporting on Plymouth Argyle that I have seen most League 2 teams defend better than that. I've witnessed a better standard of defending in the National League and even in the Ceredigion Cost Cutters Division 2, which is a Welsh league anyhow. Against Leicester, Southampton set up in the usual 3-5-2 formation. But to be honest, it doesn't really matter what formation, system or tactics Hasenhüttl deployed because not one of his players turned up. At no point at St Mary's Stadium did we witness Southampton's attempt to mark their opponents, to apply any pressure on them, hold any defensive shape or display any spirit whatsoever. I would go as far as to say that the Saints weren't even stretched out of position by Leicester. They were nothing but spectators as the visitors ran circles around them. I'd like to say most Premier League teams should look as spectacular as the Foxes did when playing football without the opposition. That's how bad Southampton were. It was as if they weren't even on the pitch. This was most obvious down the right-hand side of defence where Valerie was supposed to be stationed, although he spent much of the first half in completely different postcode to Chilwell and Harvey Barnes. I don't want to knock their credentials as attacking players, but both are very talented individuals. But anyone given the freedom of Southampton in which to operate is going to cause serious damage. Before left-back Bertrand even received his red card, Southampton were being carved up down Valerie's side of the pitch by Chilwell and Barnes, the pair finally combining successfully in the 10th minute. And then so on and so forth. Essentially, I would continue reading on, but it just goes on and on and on. It's a very, very long. If you want to read the piece, by all means, just go to fantasyfootballscout.com. But, yeah. McGinn sends it in and it goes spiralling out. Fantastic. But essentially, Southampton were absolutely appalling last night. But I'm not going to complain. All I want to say is well done to people like, as we got up on screen right now, Davey P with his Chilwell Soyuncu. And he got Chilwell in game week 5. This wasn't like he got him last night or the week before or in game week 7. No. He got Chilwell in game week 5. So well done to you, Davey P. We'll just quickly look at the standings of the Cash Mini League right now as of last night. Because, like I said, last night's scoreline has really upset a lot of people. But Wayne Handley, like I said, showing the Mane is now top, 10 points clear of Marlon Moore, who is second. Andrew Fong drops down to third, and then Mr. Anderson moves up to fourth. Yeah, very, very frustrating indeed. Very, very frustrating indeed, this particular game week so far. I'm not going to rue the -4 that I could have done, but whatever. At the moment, it's still 0-0. We've played 16 minutes of the game. It's still 0-0. And you know what? I couldn't care less if Aston Villa won this 1-0 now. I really couldn't give a damn, to be honest with you. We all know what's going to happen. So, who is in chat? Who is chatting? Who is wanting... I say who's wanting to talk. And let's see if there's any... well... anybody wants to give me any questions or any talking points. So I will want to say this. Thank you to all that is joining me on this Manchester United versus Aston Villa stream. Like I said, I do think this is the evolution of Elite FPL. One day there will be a point where I'll be able to have the TV with the game on, and I'll be able to report directly as to seeing what I'm doing rather than using my radio, listening into as to what's going on, because I really do want to create, along with Jason, a more unique Elite FPL experience by bringing you a more, not quite a professional feel, but a bit more of an informative piece, shall we say, because it is frustrating that I can't get to watch any football whatsoever, and I'm just literally relying on articles, the radio, as we've just seen just then. Yeah, any sob stories out there, but anyway. I mean, Mac, I'll be keeping Aguero for just the next game, even if he won't start. Joseph Beattie, can't believe people triple captain Vardy. Yeah, it happens. Fair play to them. Fair play to them. Darren Walsh saying that City may make hard work of this particular game. Yet they probably will, to be honest with you. Thier making the point here. At the beginning of the season, we talked about how Leicester's first 8 fixtures were difficult, but after that they were much easier, so I totally blame myself for not having Vardy. Yep, agreed. City calling for a penalty, coming off the arm of somebody. Wouldn't that be ironic if City got a penalty and there's no City on the no Aguero on the pitch? Lincoln typical. Opus, I got in Pereira instead of Chilwell. Made sense. Nothing wrong with that at all. Aubameyang instead of Vardy and Mount instead of Maddison. Again, it's all ifs, buts, maybes. I could have done a -4 last night and had Vardy. It didn't happen. Gee whiz, saying that it's going to VAR. Ian Anderson, someone in my mini league triple captain Aguero. Oh my goodness. No penalty has been given. No penalty has been given. We got a runner saying that he got in Aguero for a -4 and captained him. He benched Scientiu. My season has crumbled. No. Pat Cassidy, 33% of the top 10,000 own Vardy. Even though the majority will determine the average, we will likely be 25 plus points behind a meaningful... Yeah, exactly. Abdul saying that Vardy's going to start blanking soon. Well, you know my opinion on Vardy. Although, ironically, last night I was kind of proven right. The goals and assists come from all over the place in Leicester. You can't exactly... But, you know, at the end of the day, Vardy did still get in on the thing. In fact, last night, let's be brutally honest here, the people that got the returns hardly owned at all by the overall game. Let's just quickly bring up those particular players and their own ownerships, because reality is that thankfully they're not particularly highly owned per se, and Tielemans owned by 5.2. Obviously this doesn't include this is including last night's buys. Perez, of course, only owned by 3.5. Chilwell, 5.2% owned. You know, not that many whatsoever own these specific players whatsoever. Harvey Barnes, of course, getting on the action last night. Only 6.5% own him as well. But I mean, looking at my team here, if you're doing knee jerk, I mean, obviously Aguero out. Who the hell do I get Sterling in for? I mean, get rid of him here. Bring in Vardy as an example. Just stick him in there for now. Need to bring in Sterling somehow. Like I said, he seems to be the go-to man. Then again, I may not even need Sterling. May not even need Sterling whatsoever. And I could just drop down to whoever for 11.4. But Sterling does seem to be the main, along with Kevin De Bruyne, the asset to go to regarding Man City. Certainly. Tahir saying, go on to the overall ranks. Okay. And look at the number 1. Well, it's still 0-0, everybody. Surprise, surprise. Hold on. John McGinn sending in a... Hold on. Potentially a penalty, but it's been given a corner. Wow. Tahir, you're right. 2nd place in the world. 89 points. Triple captain Vardy. What on earth, man? That is extraordinary. This on the screen at the moment is number 2 in the whole world. 89 points. Triple captained Vardy. Well, VAR's checking penalty. They are checking on a penalty here. Oh, God. It's not being given. No penalty. Wouldn't that be a kick in the teeth? I've just seen a comment in chat just now. Something to do with City. It's typical. Yeah, Joseph Beattie, I swear. Some FPL players have the inside knowledge. Who the hell triple captains Vardy in a way? I completely agree with you. Especially, the worst thing is, Joseph, is the fact that he clearly was in the top 50 in the world anyway. And yet, he's moved up to 2nd over. In fact, I can find out, can't I? He was 325th. Alright, okay, 325th last week. Look at that history. And he hasn't played any chips other than that triple captaincy yesterday. Look at that history this season so far. He's gone from Gameweek 1 rank of 2 million and he's now moved up to 2nd place. That's amazing. God, blimey. I think that's like an average of 65 points a game week? That is absolutely amazing. All I can say is well done to Andrew Forey from England. I'm assuming you are from England considering he's a Chelsea fan. Mind-boggling. Absolutely mind-boggling. Fair play to him. Like you said, who on earth? Vardy away at Southampton. Who on earth? Even considering... Abdul saying that he captained Vardy 3 minutes before the deadline. Shaban saying that, to be fair, Leicester had the best away form and Saints had the West home form before the game started. Yep, that's... Well, did they? I think thought Leicester had only won... They'd only won 1, drawn 1 and lost 2 this season. I know Southampton had the worst, one of the worst. In fact, I know they had the worst home form. I'll just quickly find out. I'll quickly find out what specifically happened there. But how is the game going, everybody? Is it good so far? Are you enjoying it? It sounds a bit bland. Keyword being sounds. Doesn't seem like this is going to be ending exactly 3 or 4-0. Could be a very, very tight game. So, before last night's game, Leicester had they'd only won 1, drawn 1 and lost 2. And they'd only, stats right, they'd only scored 4 goals and conceded 5. Now Leicester... We're not back.